All right, Shalom. And first off, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Ruach Kodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the Akim pushing this truth across the four winds of the earth with all truth and sincerity. This is Brother Khan from the GMS Columbus camp, and I got this video pulled up on this Jake right here who has, you see what it says, 5 wives and counting. And you know, this society doesn't accept this type of I'm gonna say behavior. You know, they call it being a polygamist, but it's not a sin to have more than one wife. And even though this Jake, of course, is not in the truth, you know, he's practicing our old customs and having multiple wives. And you know, you had our forefathers. Abraham, he had 2 wives. You had Jacob, he had 4 wives. You had David, he had 4 wives. Solomon had 700 wives and 300 concubines. Rehoboam had 18 wives. Abijah had 14 wives. And the list goes on, man, because this wasn't a sin or a crime to have multiple wives back in the ancient world. You know, it's just things have changed up in today's society. And I'm gonna let you look at this video real quick, and then I'm gonna get a scripture to and wrap up.
It wasn't in the plan to get 5 wives. It just happened over time because, quite frankly, I was cheating on all of these girls at the same time, and I was missing out on my kids. I've always been a multiple girl type of guy, and I was like, look, I can pull this off.
Hi, CTV. This is our story. Currently, everybody that lives at our house is our 5 wives, including myself, our husband James, and 11 kids, as well as 3 little babies that are on the way.
I'm legally married to Cameron. We were together since 2012, and we stayed together until 2023 before I decided to fully become poly. Quite frankly, 3 years ago, I didn't even know what being poly was. Like I said, I was doing a lot of cheating. Even though I was with Cam, and I got with these other girls, I never stopped loving her. But I also had in my heart, feelings for these other girls just as strong. I was tired of hurting girls in the way that I was. I was getting older. Also, I have kids involved, so I wanted to mature up. Up until that point, I thought the option was monogamy, staying single, or cheating. I didn't know that there was another form.
He actually sent out a mass text message to all of us in the same group chat, telling us all how he was sorry, but he wanted to be with all of us, and he was already with all of us. It was very hard, and I was really caught off guard. At first, I was not for it. I've been dealing with him for my entire life with cheating, but after a while and talking to him and communicating with him a lot, and I just love him so much that I wanted to make him happy, and I wanted to make this relationship work.
See, these women understand. You know, he was saying he was doing a lot of cheating, and he thought about monogamy, but monogamy isn't the customs or the heritage, not the heritage, but the customs of the Israelite man. We can have multiple wives, and you notice he don't have one Jake woman in here, one Israelite woman in here. Well, they could be Northern Kingdom, so, some of them, but he doesn't have Judah, Benjamin, Levi in this bunch, you know, because our apostles always say, man, we don't have to we can bring the nation back through other women of the other nations. It doesn't have to be an Israelite woman that we bring our nation back through, you know. And although all these women, which I can't tell if it looked like some Northern Kingdom in there, um, but hey, all his kids are still Israelites because you know it's about the father's seed. The mother doesn't have anything to do with nothing, man. You know. Let me continue to just play.
One of the things that was very hard for me in the beginning was the initial shock of how well he also got along with everybody else and like their own love language in their relationship.
We all have jealousy moments, but we're also all not very aggressive. So it really works. Because imagine if we were all like, aggressive. This would be like a fight club house. Like, I didn't tell my family about this for a long time. My mom was like, absolutely not. This is not right, Cameron. You deserve better. I had to keep explaining to her, like, this is what I want. I love him. I love these women. I love all these children. And today, she's coming around.
Online, it's hard. They'll say that the kids are brainwashed or the kids are being manipulated. They'll say that I'm manipulating these women. That's hard, because people think that we're a certain way when we're really not.
I would say that one of the positives of raising kids in a polygamous home is that they all get to live together and be around their siblings.
I have 5 moms, so of course I get any game I want.
I have 5 moms, of course I get straight A's.
I have 5 moms. Of course if one says no, I'm asking no.
I have 5 moms, of course I get any snack I want.
When it comes to the little kids, they absolutely love it. They get 5 moms' attention on them all day long.
My wives are happy, our kids are happy. We're not pushing this on to our children. Like, I'm not telling my older son, like, hey, you get older, you need 5 women. We also express to our kids that it's a choice. It's not something that you have to do. Right now, my wives and I, we're just accepting applications for the number 6. They say they don't like odd numbers, so this will probably be the last. No, this 100% will be the last.
See, obviously, this man is able to take care of these women, and they seem happy, man. They have someone to help them with their children. They have someone to help them with their tasks through the day. But I'm gonna start off real quick with Isaiah 4:1 because this is a future prophecy that is going to happen on this side, even before the kingdom. It could happen on this side even before the kingdom because it's about to get hectic out here. These women are going to need men that men of the Lord because every man is not going to get this. Just men that know what's going on. That know. That are men of the Lord and know what's happening because they're going to need the guidance of a man. They're going to need a leader. The man leads and the woman she follows. And in that day, hey, they're going to come to reality that they need a man, and they're not going to care if he has multiple wives or not. This is Isaiah 4:1. I'm gonna read it in the NLT. It says, in that day, so few men will be left that 7 women will fight for each man, saying, let us all marry you. We will provide our own food and clothing. Only let us take your name so we won't be mocked as old maids. So in that day, they're not going to be concerned with you having an extra woman or 2 or 3. However many the Lord seem to bless you with or to give you in that time, hey, they're going to accept it because they're going to need that protection of a man. And this is not a sin. Like I just told you, with our forefathers who had multiple wives, you had even Elkanah, Lamech had both of those men had 2 wives in that time. And if this was wicked, it would have been spoken of in the scriptures, but it's not. As long as you can provide for these women, as long as you can take care of these women, and hey, everything is Gucci, man. You can have multiple wives, man, because ultimately the man is the prize, And matter of fact, let me get another example real quick. This is Judges 8. And 30. And it says, and Gideon had 70 sons. So he had 70 sons of his body begotten. And he didn't have these 70 sons with just one woman. Of his body begotten, for he had many wives, and his concubine that was in Shechem she also bare him a son, whose name he called Abimelech. And you can read the rest of the story, but the point I was getting that, Gideon, he had 70 sons, man, and many wives. And this is not wicked to have many wives. It's not a sin as to how they try to make that issue in today's time, man. Because Esau, he'll want to put you in jail for having more than one wife, but he'll let you marry the same sex. Make that make sense, man. The scriptures tell us to be fruitful and multiply. And how do you do that? You know, you haven't by having multiple wives. This man Gideon had 70 sons, man. He didn't have those 70 sons from one woman. You best believe he had multiple wives and concubines that he was having these children with, man. So, you know, Esau, man, the ways of this society is coming to an end, and it's about to go back to the way it was, man. The Lord is about to set up this righteous kingdom, and in the kingdom to come, you can't have multiple wives. You are going to have multiple wives. And this guy right here, although he's not a Hebrew Israelite, he's not doing anything wrong, you know. But I'm sure he's catching a lot of flack for it, though. Let me get one more scripture, and I'm gonna close out. Salah. This is Isaiah 13 and 12, and it says, "I will make a man more precious than fine gold." Yeah, we're gonna. Hey, it's gonna be it's not gonna be many men um left after all hell breaks loose, man. So men is going to be, like it says in the end of it's going to be a scarceness of men in that time. So hey, women are going to get in line, and they're going to fight for you to be their wives if you choose to pick them, because like it says right here, I'm going to read it again, Isaiah 13 and 12. "I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than a golden wedge of Ophir." So a man is going to be made very precious, man, in that time, because especially not just a man of the Lord. A man of the Lord is going to be very precious in those times, man, because a man of the Lord is going to know what's happening in those days. He's going to be able to tell um, his wives, or you know in his concubines, what's going on, as far as the hell that's coming on the earth. Because a regular man is going to be in a state of confusion. He ain't going to be able to tell you nothing, because he hasn't been searching. He hasn't been seeking the Lord. So he's going to be just as scared as the woman. But a man of the Lord, knowing this truth, he's going to know why these things are happening, and you're going to be able to be that calm for a woman in that day, which is going to make you a precious a you're going to be very precious in the sight of these women, man. And you might have more than 7 women in that day. You might have damn 25 women. That's going to be all under your, I ain't going to say control, but all up under you. Well, you're going to have control, because if they don't do what you say, if they ain't in line, they can get to stepping, man. But this man right here, he's not doing anything wrong, man. Hey, that's part of our customs, to be able to have more than one wife. You know, like I said, this society today doesn't accept that, but you will in the coming kingdom, man. You will very soon, and you will before we get in the kingdom. You're gonna come to grips that there's nothing wrong with this, you know, especially you women, especially you women. So, hey, with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rakak Radash, double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the Akim that's pushing his truth across the four winds of the earth with all truth and sincerity. Kwam Yashala, Shalom.